Long ago, when the skies of Kerala were filled with the scent of burning oil lamps, and the silence of the night was pierced only by the call of jackals and the croaking of frogs, there was a village hidden behind the dense coconut groves and betel nut trees. At the end of that village, where the thick forest kissed the edge of a vast lonely lake, began a tale that was never supposed to be told. A tale buried under the silence of caste, fear, and something darker, far beyond the understanding of men. One bitterly cold evening, a man tried to cross that lake. His face was pale, clothes torn, and he walked as if something chased him, not behind him, but inside him. As he stepped into the shallow edge of the lake, something strange happened. The water beneath his feet started to freeze. Fast, too fast. The lake, that had never seen snow, turned to ice, imprisoning his leg in an instant. And then from the mist came them, creatures, neither living nor dead. Their eyes glowed dim yellow. Their necks were torn open, leaking a strange greenish pus that bubbled and hissed in the cold. They came closer, closer. The man screamed, but no one heard. His body froze, and as the creatures sank their teeth into his flesh, the only witness was the moon above, hidden behind clouds. The next day, a young boy named Chaathan came to the edge of the lake, the son of a poor farmer, a boy of the soil, born to the lower caste, forbidden from even touching the waters of the lake. Chaathan was always curious, brave. His cousin once dared to bathe in the lake. For that he was brutally murdered, tied and led to be mauled by wild dogs. His body was given to vultures. The family never spoke of it. But today, Chaathan had no fear. He came alone. He came to play. That's when he saw it. A man was floating, lifeless, face up, but Chaathan didn't dare go close. He turned and left silent. That night, Chaathan burned with fever. His mother laid beside him, wiping his head with wet cloth. But the boy was blabbering strange words, words no one in the village had ever heard before. His voice no longer the voice of a child. His mother stared into his eyes. Something was wrong. At dawn, Chaathan's father, Kelu, returned from across the lake where he had spent the night with his second wife. A selfish man, harsh, always drunk on power, even though he had none. His wife told him about the fever, the strange words, but Kelu laughed it off. Let the boy rot. Maybe he's finally become mad like his uncle. Later, as the family sat for their meal, the horror unfolded. Kelu took a bite from the rice, and suddenly thick yellow pus started leaking from the corner of his lips. The children were horrified by the sight. One of them starts vomiting, another shrieks and runs. His wife screamed. She ran barefoot across the narrow paddy fields, over thorny paths, her sari torn by the wind. She reached the house of the temple priest, but the priest, proud and caste-bound, was disgusted. You foul woman, don't come near me in the morning. You will curse my day. She fell to her knees, begged, cried, Please, my husband, something evil is inside him. The priest's face turned red with rage. He lifted a thorny branch from the Tulsi courtyard and struck her again and again. Bleeding, humiliated, she walked home only to find the floor was stained red. Blood, flesh, tiny bones. The hut is silent. Her footsteps echo as she steps into the doorway. The smell of blood hits her nose. Her breath catches, her eyes widen as she sees the remains. Bones, flesh, a child's half-eaten hand. Her legs trembled, her chest rose and fell like a stormy sea. And then she heard it. A crunch. Kelu stepped forward. But he wasn't Kelu anymore. His jaw had twisted sideways. His eyes were black. His tongue hung out like a dead snake, and his skin, oozing, cracked, and pulsing with pus, looked like rotting tree bark. He smiled, a smile no human should ever wear, and then he ran towards her. She screamed, a scream that tore through the silence of the whole village. She ran, barefoot, her legs cutting against the sharp dried leaves and broken clay tiles. Her breath ragged, her sari caught on a branch and tore. She didn't stop. Blood ran down her feet. She didn't stop. Behind her, Kelu followed, laughing, snarling like an animal. His footsteps didn't sound like feet, they slapped the earth like wet meat. She didn't know where she was going, only that she needed to go anywhere, anywhere but here. Through the paddy fields, past the broken shrine of the forest goddess, past the place where her cousin was tied to dogs, towards the only thing in sight, the cursed lake. And there, standing still, was her son, her Chaathan, eyes glassy, feet still, hands cold. She grabbed him, pulled him. "We must go, child. Run, please." But he didn't move. "Amma, stay near the lake." The mother stares at her son, the same son she breastfed, same lullabies to, taught to walk. But now he looked at her like a stranger, like something ancient lived in his body. From behind, the monstrous Kelu emerged, his mouth opened wider than it should, like a snake unhinging its jaw. He howled, a sound that sounded like dozens of voices crying in pain. She screamed again, backed away, shielding her son. But Chaathan stepped forward, his voice deep now, steady. "Don't be afraid, Amma." He bent down, touched the edge of the frozen lake, scooped a handful of water, and flung it into Kelu's face. Kelu screeches in pain. His body starts melting like a wax doll in fire, bones snapping, skin dissolving into the mud. His last scream was not of rage, it was of release. The mother stared. Her son, her little Chaathan, had saved her. But now he turned towards her again, eyes no longer a child's. "Amma, run," and never return. He sees her legs again, running faster, faster. The wind howls through the trees. Her breath catches. Her vision blurs with tears. She ran, her face stained with blood, her heart broken in ways no mother should ever know. She ran not from the creature behind her, but from the truth in front of her, that her son was no longer her son, that the lake had taken him. She turned back once, just once, and sees Chaathan's form shimmer. His boyish body changes, morphs until standing at the lake's edge is the man who had first died, the man who had frozen into the lake. He walks back into the lake. The ice slowly spreads again, sealing him beneath its cold surface. The curse, waiting for the next soul to wake it.